So as of this exact moment, I have approximately 3,856 hours of gameplay on Vermintide 2. I also have a pretty high playtime on another post-apocalyptic campaign game from 13 years back called Left 4 Dead 2, of which I have 668. Plug that into a calculator and you'll see that I have 5.77 times more hours in Vermintide 2 than Left 4 Dead 2. But why exactly is that? How can one game that I already considered to be amazing practically get sextupled in value? Simple really. It's because Vermintide 2 is way more complex. The traditional elements that make games good all still apply of course, but when it comes to playstyles and strategy, Vermintide 2 has Left 4 Dead 2 beat by a country mile. Every time you learn how to become proficient at something, it's like, congratulations! Only 19 more playstyles to go! Mesh that with Vermintide's overwhelming replayability, and you can start to see why I love this game so much. In fact, ever since we last left off at Ranger, I have become proficient enough at 5 other careers that I could easily make videos on them in the coming weeks. And today is no different, as we focus on one of the more unique careers Vermintide has to offer, the Sister of Thorn. Much like her IRL counterpart, the Sister of Thorn can be feisty, name-calling, annoyingly rude, and unnecessarily violent. But that doesn't stop her from being an absolute pest to her foes on the battlefield. That, of course, being largely connected to her career-unique weapon, the Deepwood Staff. This staff can lift all the way up to Chaos Warriors into the air in a suspended, helpless animation for a handful of seconds, allowing you and your team to deal with him however they please. Obviously, the idea is to lift specials and elites into the air in order to simplify the situation. With practically unlimited range, it also serves as a rescue item for when your allies get pinned. It can also cancel a Blightstormer's spell so long as you lift him before the cast is complete. It is an unbelievably powerful item, and it's often worth it to just tank your accumulated charge meter to keep spamming the lift mechanic, especially during patrols. You see, patrols are powerful not just because of their damage, but that they are designed to overwhelm. There are just too many attacks coming in to effectively fight back. So the greatest thing that you as a Sister of Thorn can do is to inhibit their ability to act as one large unit. And it's not just the staff that can accomplish this. You have your career skill, Thornwake, that provides you with a few different ways of impacting not just patrols, but hordes and monsters as well. At first glance, you might look at this wall and go, oh, well, it's just a stupid wall, where's the use in that? And at first, that's exactly what I thought too. But after a while, I realized that it's not so much the wall itself, but what you envision your wall accomplishing. For example, take a look at this clip. I'm in an enclosed space with a horde coming through a corridor behind us. I set up a wall after a chunk of enemies come through so they can't act as one complete unit. But then you might think, well, obviously you can't do that in more open areas. Very true. However, as I already said, it's not the wall, but what you make of the wall. Because if there's a wall behind you, the enemies can't surround you now, can they? Obviously, this can be completely avoided through effective positioning, but it goes to show you what a simple wall can do for you. And even if it doesn't block enemies from getting to you, it still forces them to deviate from their path, making it take longer to reach you. A huge element of the Thorn's effectiveness is having the time to set everything up, finding the windows to step away from the front lines to lift enemies off the ground or build walls, and then returning when that job is complete. But anyways, I still have a lot to talk about, so let's move on. The Sister of Thorn allows her party to acquire healing 25% more effectively, and she can steal another player's temporary health if they are already at full HP. And I guess she also has a poison mechanic that at its best can maybe take away like a tenth of the enemy's health. I don't know, man. It's not so much the poison as it is the 12% increased damage taken. Not sure how truly effective 12% is, but I guess it means monsters can die 12% faster. I don't know, you take what you can get in Cataclysm. And then you have her career passive that allows her to use her ult more than once. Honestly, I can see this being another turnoff for people trying Thorn out for the first time. It's like, you don't fully understand her ult, and then you realize that her passive just lets her use her ult more often, and then you realize she has no damage reduction, and then you realize her health recovery options are kind of bad. But in defense of her health recovery options, it is designed to be bad on purpose, since she can also recover health from her allies. I personally go with melee kills over headshots and crits, but it should be noted that the Thorn as a career does get critical hits pretty often, so it's not unfair to say one is way better than the other. Talent set number 2 reminds me a lot of the Forbidden Fruit story, since you have a talent that increases your attack speed by 15%, which normally I'm all for it. But the catch, ooh, the catch. catch. It's just a new level of cruelty. If you go below 135 HP, that attack speed is gone, and considering how much I manage my staff, I just can't see it being too effective or common, especially when things get tight. And while writing the script for this video, I actually tested out Authority's Delight and had a huge epiphany. This is stronger than the Witch Hunter Captain's Flint's Talon. And then I questioned why I ever thought to use Brer's Malice to begin with. The one catch to Authority, I will say, is that you do have to hit them twice before the bleed effect comes in. Still though, really cool. Talent set number 3, I'd go for Enhanced Power or Smitter. A lot of my health recovery options come from killing helpless enemies and specials, so being able to deal 20% more damage to them would be pretty helpful. Talent set number 4 focuses on your ult, allowing you to use it up to 3 times, use it twice but with a cooldown option, and a team support option that also helps you as well. Wait a minute. Something's not right here. So you mean to tell me that it's not your ult that gives you the team buff? No. It's your career passive specifically. And then you have talent set number 5. Recursive Toxin sounds interesting since it not only doubles the poison damage, but also doubles the damage suffered mechanic, right? As a matter of fact, yes, it does. This boosts Kerillian's damage pretty easily up to 24%, which is honestly pretty tempting. Repel and Lingering Venom are nice additions, but if I had to make a decision, I'd say you want Recursive Toxin for better increased party damage, or Lingering to better apply less effective Black Venom to more enemies and get a head start on Authority's Delight, and also leaving you with the option of adding on Brer's Malice to better take advantage of crit-related loadouts, like Hunter for the staff for even more damage. And then there's talent set number 6. Each one of these are pretty good, I would say. Black Venom Thicket is good for monsters since it can stagger them, and it also helps with Authority's Delight. Tangle Grasp is good for environmental kills, but it doesn't wash away elites like it does commons. Iron Bark is good since those oh-so-important walls last longer, and makes the AI path take even longer. Honestly, I can't tell you which one of these are good since they're all good. Or at the very least, I found a way to excel with all 3 of them. Either way, at the very least, I relayed to you guys how important the wall mechanic can be, so honestly, I just go for which one works best for you. Melee weapon, I go for either the Greatsword or the Sword and Dagger. I personally go with the Sword for its excellent swing patterns, stamina, and speed. Maxing crit chance is a good idea. You do a lot of pushing, so I'd also recommend extra stamina. For the staff, I'd recommend Thermal Equalizer since Conservative Shooter doesn't seem to be an attainable trait. Obviously, you want crit chance and power versus infantry. The only notable exceptions for my jewelry is that I have proxy instead of decanter for the charm, and crit chance instead of ult reduction for the trinket. I do like max stamina on the necklace, but block cost would be the wiser selection instead. And that's the Sister of Thorn for you. Definitely one of the more unique careers out there with an equally unique role. I've even heard that she's super viable on Kata tier 3 Deathwish Onslaught, so she's definitely worth mastering. I will say that it is helpful to have a team that can recover health effectively, and just as important is the necessity for a team that can manage the front lines while you handle whatever nuisance tries to get in their way from afar. I never really thought I could actually learn her playstyle, and I could even go as far as to say that of all the careers I've ever tried, this one I definitely thought would be the hardest. But hey, that makes 11, only 9 more to go. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Later, peoples!